She woke up every morning wrapped in silk. Servants knelt when she walked past. Her meals were prepared by dozens of hands. Yet she could not leave the palace. She could not choose a husband. She could not decide her future. Because she wasn't a wife. She was a concubine. Most people imagine concubines as lucky women. Chosen. Desired. Protected by power. History tells a softer version of the truth. The real story is darker. Concubines were not selected because they were loved. They were selected because they were useful. Useful for producing heirs. Useful for securing alliances. Useful for proving a ruler's dominance. Once chosen, a concubine stopped being a person. She became a function. In many empires, concubines entered the palace young. Sometimes barely teenagers. Not through romance, but through inspection. Their bodies were examined. Their skin, teeth, posture, even the sound of their voice. Families who offered daughters believed they were gaining honor. What they were actually doing was surrendering them forever. Once inside the palace, life narrowed. Imagine thousands of women living behind the same walls. For one man. In Imperial China, emperors kept thousands of concubines. Most would never see him even once. Their entire existence revolved around waiting. Waiting to be noticed. Waiting to be summoned. Waiting for anything to change. For many, nothing ever did. Days blended together. Wake. Dress. Sit. Wait. Some waited 10 years. Some waited 30. By the time the emperor noticed them, their youth was already gone. And yet, being chosen didn't mean safety. It meant danger. When a concubine was summoned at night, the palace recorded everything. Her name. The time. How long she stayed. This wasn't romance. It was administration. In some dynasties, concubines were inspected afterward, to confirm no one else had touched them. If pregnancy followed, the child's legitimacy was protected. If not, she returned to waiting. Sometimes knowing that night would be the only moment of attention she would ever receive. But the most dangerous moment wasn't being ignored. It was becoming important. Because power inside the palace didn't come from love. It came from childbirth. The moment a concubine gave birth to a son, everything changed. She was no longer invisible. She became a threat. To the empress. To other concubines. To ministers protecting their own bloodlines. From that moment on, she lived under constant suspicion. Poisoning was common. False accusations were routine. Infants fell ill overnight. No investigations. No questions. Power erased evidence. Many concubines understood this. They didn't dream of romance. They dreamed of survival. Some formed alliances. Some bribed servants. Some learned to disappear. And some didn't survive at all. History records many concubines dying young. Not from sickness. Not from accidents. But from orders. If a ruler feared scandal. If a son threatened succession. If a woman knew too much. She vanished. Her name removed. Her story erased. Only the walls remembered her. Being the emperor's favorite was especially dangerous. Favor attracted enemies. Jealous rivals whispered lies. Officials feared influence. Plots multiplied in silence. Some emperors solved this simply. When they died, their favored concubines were ordered to die too, so they could serve him in the afterlife. Some were forced to drink poison. Others were strangled. In extreme cases, they were buried alive. Luxury didn't protect them. Beauty didn't save them. The same gold that decorated their rooms became the cage that sealed their fate. This system wasn't unique to one culture. The Ottoman Empire had harems. African royal courts kept palace women. Middle Eastern caliphates institutionalized concubinage. Even European kings maintained official mistresses, whose children shaped politics. Different continents. Same logic. Control women. Control bloodlines. Control power. And what happened when a concubine survived the emperor? Surely freedom came then. It didn't. Many were forbidden to marry. Forbidden to leave. Forced to live out their lives inside the same palace. Some shaved their heads and lived as symbolic widows. Some spent 50 years walking the same courtyards. Waiting for nothing. Alive. But already forgotten. Here is what history rarely says out loud. Concubines were not victims of individual men. They were victims of systems. Systems that turned bodies into tools. That converted beauty into currency. That reduced human lives to political strategy. And that is why this story still matters. Because history did not invent exploitation. It refined it. It perfected how to hide cruelty behind ceremony. How to dress control in silk. How to make prisons look like privilege. Concubines lived surrounded by gold. But owned nothing. Not their time. Not their bodies. Not their children. Not even their deaths. Kings are remembered by name. By monuments. By empires. Concubines. By silence. And now, that silence is broken.